So, nearby everyone,
Yes.
what's your favourite DreamWorks movie?
Shrek?
It's the only real answer, isn't it? Like, you could joke and
How
say...
to Train Your Dragon?
How to Train Your Dragon.
That's true.
Oh, that's Dreamworks. That was really good, yeah.
Shrek the third?
Oh no.
No. Shrek Forever After. God damn it.
The inevitable Shrek reboot.
The Road to El Dorado is a DreamWorks animated movie that flopped harder than a mattress being pushed out of a third-story window. Despite its poor box office results, the movie has gone on to be a cult classic and has been praised for its story, music, and character design. Is that right?
Yeah. Nailed it.
Job.
Character design that includes using the teeth of its characters to intimidate the audience.
Okay, this is what I did not know this. Mostly because I've only seen The Road to El Dorado once.
Yeah, so I was going to say, who's seen it?
Me.
I know you've seen it because we're both big fans. Have you seen it before?
Feel like I have at some point, but then all I go in my head is like, isn't that the movie that's worse than Emperor's New Groove?
How dare you?
And I leave!
Choosing violence!
Barely even got started. So I'll address this to Nisha.
Yay.
What's the film about?
So it's these two guys who are from Spain. They are scammers, basically, the con men.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I'm off frame now. Do I want?
Carl's getting cancelled immediately.
No, this is fact thing with Brad. It's fine.
Fabio Brad gets cancelled episode 1. The plot of the film is that these two scoundrels end up stumbling across the City of Gold and get mistaken for gods.
Yeah.
So they decide that their ultimate scam will be to convince these people that they are gods in order to load up on the gold and get the hell out of there.
We just have to keep this up long enough to load up on the gold and then get the hell out of here.
It's not worse Emperor's New Groove, it's worse Treasure Planet, got it?
Lucas.
He's just on it today.
You don't do this when Karl's in the seat.
He does it all the time. We just cut it out. There's also as well that's based on, there's a historical precedent for that. That's how Hernán Cortés, which they reference in the film, got away with basically slaughtering all the Aztecs because their typical representation of their gods were men in gold and gleaming armor, which Hernán Cortés's men looked like because they were wearing brass armor which shone in the sun.
Don't ruin the film.
Okay. But I was saying like that.
No, but I mean about ruining the film being like, oh, this beautiful film that we love is based on this actual genocide.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the idea of like if aliens came here and would see them as, especially like, you know, in the past when all these ancient alien stories come from. If an alien comes down to the planet and your technology is not that advanced, you would think there's some kind of deity. It's like Thor in MCU. When they all thought they were gods and they were just scientifically advanced.
Just an alien with an hammer. Can you imagine if like an alien landed on Earth and it's like, I've got an hammer.
The first thing I'd do is ask how they built fucking Stonehenge. It's impossible.
How'd you do it?
How did you?
You've let me. I really want to talk about. So you guys know the band Ylvis, right?
Yes.
I literally just started singing that.
I think that like the fact that the Fox video became the popular one is a crime because they do one on Stonehenge that is so much better. And it's this guy talking about how he's got the perfect life and he's like the presenter of a talk show. He's got a beautiful wife. He's got kids. Everything's going well for him, but he can't sleep at night because he wants to know how Stonehenge was built.
What's the meaning of Stonehenge?
And the entire video is about this. Like the second verse has him like his wife tell him about how good a chef he is and rewards him with a blowjob. And while she's like down there, he just opens a little pop-up book of Stonehenge. Like, how was it built?
So he wants to know what the meaning is.
Yeah.
Like,
What's
why?
the meaning? Why?
He's like, why?
You know, it's like how do they built this labyrinth of stone? And then he starts talking about his car.
Yeah, it's like that thing of.
That's me then.
Do you ever see those pictures of like Aztec pyramids and Egyptian pyramids look the same? What does this mean? That's the most efficient way to pile up rocks. It's like, but you can do it. Just go on the beach and stack up pebbles. They'll go in a naturally pyramid or cone shape. That's just how it's easiest to stack up rocks.
No, aliens. Aliens.
What's this about the teeth then?
It's something the animators did to try and make certain characters more intimidating. And when I read this, because I've seen this film loads of times, when I read this, it sounded like crap. Because it's such a strange idea that specifically because the sources that I found referred to one character's teeth. And I was curious about this, so I went through and watched the whole film back. And something I realised is that it's not just the one character, it's any character that is either a villain or is meant to appear intimidating at the time, or cause intimidation. So there's a guard captain at the start, and, first of all, to establish, like every other character, when they show their teeth, it's just a white bar. They don't put detail on the teeth. Mm-hmm. But the guard captain, when he grimaces, his teeth have lines drawn on to show the individual teeth.
We've decided it's a draw. Thank you all for coming. You've been great. See you soon. Adios.
And then they do the same thing with the opposing team. When the main characters do like a ball game, they all have the same thing.
15 mere mortals against 2 gods.
But yeah, I said one character was brought up with this fact brought forward, and it's Zekel Khan, who is the villain. He is the antagonist for the story, and if you haven't seen this film, it's great. There's a point where he's piloting this Jaguar kaiju through a volcano. I would recommend it. He is drawn in almost every single shot he's in, with every single tooth individually drawn in.
Finally, we're connecting.
On its own, this might not seem too strange, but when he's on alongside a bunch of characters who don't have defined teeth, it's so creepy.
He's the only one with teeth.
Yeah.
My lords, why now do you choose to visit us?
Enough! You do not question the gods.
So this is how he's drawn.
Bye-bye.
That looks like an edit. It looks like someone, like a shit post.
There's just so many pictures of like close-ups of him with his teeth.
Just why are there so many just zooms in of teeth?
But it really does. It makes him look intimidating. I can understand why they did it. And there's only one other character in the entire film who is shown with individual teeth drawn the same way it's his. And it's actually not a villain. It's one of the guardsmen. And what happens is, when Cortés is approaching the city, this guardsman comes in and he says that Cortés is approaching the city with an army of strangers. And during this bit, he's got the bar, the same as everyone else. But then, when they do a close-up and he goes, he's being led by Zekel Khan. He's got all the teeth. So they've done it in order to, like, they're associating the teeth with him in this scene as well.
They are being led by Zekel Khan. He survived.
Are you sure this wasn't like a mistake by the animators? And like, fuck, we didn't draw anyone's teeth in. When we forgot to draw the teeth.
Who's got the hard drive with the teeth on it? God damn it.
Like when they lost all of Toy Story 2. It's like, who lost all the teeth?
But that implies that they forgot to do the teeth, and then at the end went, damn, we've only got enough time to put them on one character. Go with him, he's creepy enough.
Should give everyone one really defined tooth. Like, give them all a snaggle tooth.
I'd quite like to see, I might take his teeth and put them on the other characters and just put it in the background and see how weird it looks. And then give him the removed teeth and see if he looks kinder. That's the thing.
I'm not sure why that makes someone like. There's a lot of tricks you can use to make characters look scarier. Like you shoot them from below or draw them from below to make them look more imposing. Or you like give them like the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Like give them like thicker, more bushy, defined eyebrows, like usually a more furrowed brow or a more defined brow ridge to make them look like more scary and angry. I've never thought about teeth. Use like unless we're talking like Star Wars and the Daisy Ridley fangs. Remember when they did that?
Yeah.
What?
Where they have like the...
Well, the Dark Ray had fangs.
Dark Ray has like shark teeth.
They do a really like weird, stupid, like campy thing where it pans to her like with like the spiky teeth coming out because she's a Sith. It's like, oh.
So being a Sith gives you fangs.
Well, to be fair, it fucked up Palpatine's face, didn't it? Like being a Sith turned like Palpatine into Monster Mash. Big dumb Monster Mash face.
But the
Daisy Ridley shark teeth. We need a movie of Daisy Ridley with shark teeth.
But on the point of like why?
Yes, why?
So the animators, the people who made it, thought that having one character have something that was really realistic amongst all of these other cartoony things makes him look weirder.
That does, like the Uncanny Valley sort.
Yeah, like there's whenever you watch those like animations on YouTube, and they'll always, in order to creep you out, they'll always do things that look hyper real, like those really exaggerated things where they have all the spots and the
like Handsome Squidward and stuff like that.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. So I that's what it seems like the reason why they did it is because they were like, if we make just him have just teeth, and it's from the moment you first see him, like it's just weird because everybody else just has a line, and like occasionally they've got a bit more extra detail when they like widen the smiles. It's not like they have no evidence of teeth at all, but it's just that he's got them all. And
is that why Sonic's so scary?
Oh yeah.
Well, because he's got toothy Sonic.
When he has the human teeth, because it's like he's so realistic.
Yeah.
But it's in a face that's not human.
I'm just picturing the photoshops I can do in this.
That's the one. Is that what
just
it's like?
Sonic with Zekel Khan's teeth.
I think one of the scenes that makes it quite obvious that it might have been intentional is that scene, just before they start doing the "It's tough to be a god" dance, where Chief Tenderbox like smile like you mean it, and it's like this massive grin from him, and it's just this plain.
Yeah, it's like not even in the
white
close-ups
teeth.
do they give other people proper teeth.
Big smile, like you mean it.
There's so many close-ups of his face as well. Like, I'm gonna fill the background, Brad, with all of his teeth. There's so many close-ups where he's like, there's a bit where he smiles and goes, "Finally, we're connecting," and he gives this big like grimace, and it's just
There's
horrible.
no way it's not intentional.
Of course.
No, it has to be intentional.
And your explanation makes sense when it's like the uncanny valley effect of something super realistic in an otherwise cartoonish thing.
And going back through it and seeing that every single time they used teeth was on a character that was meant to be intimidating to the audience.
Or make children unsettled, like the primary arts. But you are missing a trick, though, not turning the entirety of a green screen into his mouth. With his teeth all around the edge. Why are you not doing that?
See, this is Fact Fiend Brad. It's me being I know what I'm willing to put in the background to spend the time on. And it's because I'm in it, I'll be like, it's fine.
Or you'll just cut it, so you don't have to do the edits.
Just get rid of the... Yeah, well, I do that occasionally. When there's one comes up and I don't have time for this.
We're in a bit of a rush of the video.
So this video is likely going to be on the Untitled side channel because, Fat Fiend with Karl Smallwood implies that Karl's in the video. But this is one of those things that people keep asking us to do. There's quite a few of them, yeah. Like, another one, for example, is for Karl to wear a green morph suit. Yeah. That may happen at some point. We'll see.
Yes. I'm not sat here in it right now.
No, he's definitely not wearing it now, but along with other clothes, it looks really weird. You look like a superhero. You know, like when superheroes first start out and they have like the makeshift costume. You look like if you put a mask on.
That's what basically.
Yeah, well, like when Tom Holland's Spider-Man has his hoodie outfit.
One of my favourite
It's like that.
outfits.
Because we've got green legs and hands, green neck, but then everything else is like the black hoodie and black shorts.
And I've got high tops on as well, like Shang-Chi.
Technically, then, that means we've recorded a video with Karl in the green screen suit.
Yeah, we have to. This is technically the morph suit.
Yeah, no one said he had to be in front of the camera.
But yeah, that's...
No one specified that far.
But yeah, the one of you or Nisha or Luke's been in front of the cameras one we get a lot. And it's one of the reasons why we had to change the name of the channel to Fact Fiend with Karl Smallwood, because it's not clear. Every article on the website is written by myself. All of the ideas were ones that were suggested or like ultimately signed off on by me. Like Wiki Weekends was a collaboration between me and Luke to come up with a single idea, but it's something inspired by the podcast. And then there's the Fact Fiend Focuses was something born of like the tangents that we do. And then the site itself was set up by the site itself that Fact Fiend's based on is a site I owned from like a decade ago at this point, which was all owned by me and stuff like that. And there's always a thing like if you wrote an article, and I've said for years, if you guys wrote something, you could be in front of the camera, but none of you ever wanted to do it.
But it felt like a good thing to do for the side channel.
Yes.
And so obviously if you're watching this, then we've reached the Patreon goal to get this video made. And I guess thank you. It's interesting. Like, I stumbled so much at the start. And at one point I was like, because I've wrote the full article, like I wrote it out in paragraph by paragraph the way you would, because the idea would be that you use the articles as a template.
Yes.
And I realised I can't really read from the article because I can't get the lines right. I'm better off just talking.
Which is how the Fact Fiend started, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The first time we tried to record a video and I tried to just read from a script, I couldn't do it. Until we started just, you asked me. You know the subject, why don't you just tell me like you would? We're having a conversation, and that's what we recorded.
It's like having a background with you for stand-up just makes it easier for you to express it without like forcing it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess potentially there could be future ones of these with the others. I'm not sure if Nisha's too keen on it.
Just as soon as you motion towards her, she's just shaking her head.
But I imagine Lucas might be interested.
I'd be happy to do this, yeah.
Yeah, so we could do that as a future Patreon reward, or I'll do another one if no one else wants to, because it was quite a fun researching.
Wow, offered me the spot and then immediately ripped it away.
I'm just saying, I'm not putting any pressure on you. And also, you've been mean to me in this video. Well, mean to the Road to El Dorado in this video, so...
No offence to you, just the movie.
You don't even remember if you've seen it.
I'm just doing...
You're just trying to wind me up.
Just do it to be a prick.
He's doing it so that people in the comments are like, we don't want Brad in front of the camera again. He's just, all he does is shout and have a go at people.
That's what I do.
To be fair, there's multiple times where Karl's told us, like, on camera, like, oh, you're fired or whatever. or, oh, shut up, Lucas, as a joke, and people were like, oh, Karl told Lucas to shut up.
I can't believe they didn't cut out that footage of Karl yelling at. It's almost like Americans just don't understand the concept of banter. That's all it is.
Like, I'm trying to think of other things people kept asking us to do. Like, people kept asking for completely unedited videos.
Which would be mostly just that.
Yeah, which is what I just did there. Like, the only things we cut out of the Raw cuts, so if you haven't seen the Raw channel, obviously go and subscribe to that one, but the only thing we cut out of that is restarts and flubs. Everything else is left in, so you literally miss nothing. We don't need it.
I mean, I think we've got to go a lot higher on the Patreon before we open the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
That's the other one we've been asked about.
I always say I need enough to retire on to do that. Because like my little cousins and stuff Google my name when they're like, oh, your cousin does YouTube. And if I'm getting ostracised from my family, I need enough money to retire.
It's just when they're like...
disappear into obscurity.
What does this mean? Karl Smallwood? I don't understand.